Welcome to episode 1 of Terratech with Mobius Tank. I'm starting a new game. This is build 0.6 of early access. It's an alpha. They haven't even done beta yet. Hopefully soon the game will be complete and I'll be able to release it. Sometime next year is what I've read. So here we go. You start out crash landed on a planet and you have to build your basic tech. So it drops in parts that you can use to complete your first cab. The cab is your central component. If it gets destroyed, your vehicle blows up and you spawn somewhere with a new cab, usually pretty close to where you died. So it's not the end of the world, but later on in the game it can become a pain because you'll always spawn with this little guy and you may not always be up against people that size. They're going to be bigger, the ones that destroy you. So you'll have to rebuild before you go back and take back what parts are left of your original cab. So, starts us out here. You'll see trails of smoke. It's trying to get me to use spacebar fire, get used to the controls, drive the thing around. The smoke will lead you to your parts that have crash landed around you. Oh, and you get to kill this guy. Now, when you kill their cab, more parts left, more parts you'll have to customize your tech, which means that you can upgrade fairly early. I mean, they're basic parts, but they do more than what you've got, so it doesn't hurt to add them to your tech. So, protecting your cab is the most important thing. If it dies, then you're kind of out of luck. So, you put stuff in front of it, make sure it doesn't get killed. And I can add extra weapons here because they dropped, and extra blocks for later on. Plus, you can always sell these back later. All these parts are resellable back to the game as you go through it. So it's telling me I got to go collect my solar generator. That's the first quest. And the quests are pretty limited. They haven't finished the game yet, so obviously there's not a lot in it as far as quest progression. But it'll get you basically into the game and teach you how to do it. So I picked up my solar generator. Of course, obviously solar, it only works during the day. And you drop it, and now it's going to give me, this is a repair bubble. The repair bubble will come up kind of like a shield, but it's not a shield. It repairs anything that's damaged on your cab. So you see it turning green, that means it's repairing it, and when it stops, then you're done. And at this point, we'll just pack all this up and take it with us. Eventually, you'll want to set down roots and have a central location that you kind of do things from. I've had games where I've had several, but there's a guy over here now, and I kind of want what he's got, which is extra blocks and wheels, although he doesn't have any weapons. He might not be worth too much. The only thing he's got is those drills, and now he doesn't even have that. So I'm just going to blast this tree, and then kill his cab, and he's done. So, he did leave me a block, so we'll add that and another couple of wheels. These little back wheels don't generally get used later on. They're kind of just early on flair. I'm going to take these wheels just so I have them to sell later. Or if I need to, I can expand if I get something that doesn't have... If I have something I kill that doesn't have any wheels but extra blocks, then I can expand my cab. Oh... Okay, so now I'm going to find my radar. I've got this guy going to attack me. He does have guns. I've got him. So I'm going to destroy him. And he blew off my little... there. Okay. Fiend. Okay, so that gives me an extra gun, which is fine. I'm going to leave the rest of this stuff here. Oh, there's a block. Okay, I'll take his block. Blocks come in handy. I could break this whole thing down and rebuild it right here and now, but I don't see the point in it. It's pretty early, and this tech will do just fine for now. All these crystals, trees, rocks have potential uses later on in crafting. The rocks that do have veins, sometimes they're not always easy to see. Sometimes they're really easy to see, like that one down there has blue, and some will have red, black, gray. And you'll be able to get specific ore from those and turn it into something else. So here's another guy that took my radar. Oh, he's got a buddy. I've never seen that before. Wow, they're a coordinated bunch. So I'm going to get rid of him because he's caused me problems. And I'm taking his gun, which will help me with everything else. Go up here and take out the thief's cab because he's got my radar unit. Radar gives you a little bit bigger mini-map up top. So if I don't roll it, then I rolled it. Hit B to stand up and hit it to drop it. Okay. So the videos early on in the game, a lot of them don't address 0.6, which is what the build is now. Your radar doesn't have to be in any specific orientation, so that just, now I've got it. Here's another guy. Let's see if we can blast him real fast. Oh yeah, and he's got a lot of blocks, so I'm almost getting to the point with as many blocks as he had. Kinda need to rebuild. So I'm going to pop my cab out, break down all my parts, and try and keep everything organized in this one little place. And I'm going to go wider so I can fit more. And we'll expand this little guy to be more effective. I think this first video I'm going to try and get through all of the basic crafting stuff, because there are new parts that are useful in 0.6. I don't know when they came out because I'm new to the game. 0.6 was my first experience with it, so I don't know. It didn't seem to me like those other things were available before. Let's see here. Oh, I missed it. There it goes. So I'm going to park these bigger lasers up. The machine guns really don't do much, but they're a filler. I mean, it's the first weapon you get. The drill basically is more for harvesting, and right now I'm just keeping it to keep it, I suppose. So yeah. This is my second little build, and you're going to have a lot of these early ones. It's when you get to the bigger stuff that you'll start to kind of want to save some of the techs so you can reproduce them if you want to. Also, right now, the drone technology and stuff doesn't work quite right. It lags out the system, and I've got a pretty stout system, so that it does that kind of negates them being useful. So I'm going to bebop over to the next waypoint and get it. Looks like my battery is over there. Now these green crystals we're coming up on, they can be used to make AI cabs. There's going to be an early quest for them early on. So once you start getting your main location set up, you'll need to know where those are or go out and find them. Also, if you link your account to Twitter, you're going to come up with some different enemies and more chances at getting some extra gear available that you don't have if you don't. It just happens faster because they allow more player vehicles in the game if you're attached to Twitter. I don't care for that. A lot of guys don't, but it is what it is. So it's kind of up to your personal preference where you want to have Twitter attached to a game. And so I got to blow this tree up to get my battery. The battery, if I set it here, take my generator down, plug the battery into it, you'll see that the meter starts filling up on the battery, and once it's solid green, it will power my bubble on the vehicle once it's attached, which means it'll repair me as I go down the road. Now the batteries don't last real long early on, but there are better ones later on. So this is just a early get used to the game, learn how to do stuff thing. So now you see it's repairing my stuff, which is nice because I had some things damaged. And I've got a question for a shield bubble. Now shield bubble is the same appearance as the repair bubble, but it's blue. And instead of healing you, it negates damage. It keeps things from hitting you until the batteries die, and then it goes down, and then you get blown up. So, looks like, oh, this question mark is not that. This question mark is the early plane. Now, it does fly. It is kind of fun to play with, but it's very unstable. Later on, you can build better ones that aren't quite as gnarly as far as control goes. But we're going to leave this alone. I'm not going to mess with this right now because it has nothing to do with what I'm trying to accomplish on this video. So, and that guy's toast, which is good because he's got a gun I want, or he had a gun I want. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. He's got more blocks. I think I will take the blocks. So I'll park those just because early on it's nice to have some extra parts. And I got another gun. And so now we're going to go find our shield bubble. That was not what I was looking for. The second quest up here, the SCU storage block. People that haven't played in a while that made the early videos might be interested in making new videos, because the SCU block gives you the ability to pick up parts. If you drop it, it picks them up and puts them in your inventory, your build inventory, like 20 yards in every direction. So you can destroy bigger techs and then pick up all the parts, and you have them to build or sell, and you only have one item that's about 3 by 3 blocks to carry. And that also affects your build menu. If you drop it and anchor it to the ground, your build menu comes up. If it's not anchored to the ground, your build menu will not work. So that's a feature that I haven't seen in a lot of videos. So I thought would be handy to let people know about that. And once I get my shield bubble, I'm going to end this video, and I will start up a little bit later and try and post them to YouTube by the end of the day. So I hope you're enjoying it. Please be sure to like my channel if you do, and I will continue to make more. So it's telling me my wheels are overloaded. That's what the sparking means at the hub, and that's nothing new early on in the game. It's just the way it is. Later on, and not too much later on actually, you'll get better wheels and be able to carry more weight and clear better, clear ground better. So here's this goober. He's gonna die pretty quick. He's done. He's done. Okay, so I was telling you about better wheels. There are better wheels. Much, much better wheels. So I'm going to go ahead and peel off these. My shield bubble dropped as well. And since my battery still has some power, I'll throw that on. And you'll see the blue bubble come up as well. And that means that I have a shield now, which will keep me safe for a while and ensure that I don't get blown up quite as quick. So now I've got those heavier wheels, which is a huge deal. Now that I've found them and attached them, they'll show up in my ability to buy things later on. I don't know if just picking something up is enough to do that. I think you actually have to either suck it up with the SCU storage block, or you have to attach it to your tech to get it to show up in the buy menu. But we're rolling up now on my SCU storage block, and it says, warning, you are leaving a relatively safe zone, which means that I could run into some bigger techs and some more diverse techs. And of course down goes my battery. So I'm out here grabbing this. Now this is your SCU block, storage block. Once it charges, you'll see a menu come up in the upper left hand side. And oh that's right. Okay, so these guys are going to pop up once you put it down, and because they're here to try and destroy it. So that's a little drama to the effect. He's dead, and this guy will be dead. There we go. Alright, so they're toast. So what you'll see now is when this thing charges full green and all those rings are green instead of red, it'll put out a tractor beam and pull in all the parts around it that are within range. And once they're pulled in, I'm going to pull these little wheels off here because they're really not doing anything other than being a pain. Once they're pulled in, they're in your inventory, and you can use them to build or you can sell them. When you get to the point where you can actually sell. So I've got my SCU storage block, which this is going to make me seriously top heavy, but that's okay because it's funny. Oh, I'm supposed to try using my inventory. So okay, I got to drop it, anchor it. Like I said, your inventory won't come up until it's anchored and fully green, and the top will go black with its little tractor beam thing. And then you'll get the arrows up here on the left. You pop those open, and now you've got inventory. You can see everything, which is different from what I've seen on the old videos where they had a list that was just vertical, one item at a time. This way you've actually got searchable menus for each type of gear for GSO, GeoCorp, and Venture, along with Experimental. Experimental are some blocks that aren't in the game quite yet, and you may see some, and it gives you the ability to kind of play around with stuff that hasn't been added yet. So I'll try and get this thing to center itself so I'm not totally screwed up, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to. Okay, well, this is just a messed up deal, so I may have to rebuild to carry this silly thing. Or I just pull it off, hold it with my left mouse button, and just carry it like this. Just kind of probably not what they intended, but that's the way it works right now, so until they fix it, it gets it done. And I'm looking up here, and there's a GeoCorp tech up on top of the hill, and he's having some trouble. Oh, trader trolls. Oh, good grief, that thing's big. I may not do too well. On the other hand, I think I need to do not. Oh, okay. So, yeah. Grade 2 license. And I will pick up the pieces, which is nice, to say the least. I got some more big wheels, so that'll help with my overload problem. And some extra blocks, which also may help with that. Lost a bunch of weapons. That kind of stinks, but I will survive. Now, I don't think damaged items stay damaged once they're sucked into your storage block. They seem to repair automatically, which is fine. I don't mind that at all, because it saves me from having to worry about it. So okay, I'm gonna have to pin this. I can't get it to get, it keeps rolling downhill. Oh, it should go. Come on, grab it. Thank you. Okay, and there's a wheel down there. I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm gonna go kill this guy that can't seem to do his thing. Okay, so this is a new block. That unloaded GeoCorp's license, the basic stuff, which is nice. More big wheels. And I got a basic GeoCorp building block, one of the basic, what is that, 2x2x4. So, and then we've got our initial purchase place here. So you right click the corners where the screens are, and you can buy anything you've found. And that'll show up over here in your build menu. Unfortunately, they overlap. But if you buy something, it'll show up here as available. So you just have to be on the right one. So, alright guys, so that's our basic first few quests in this game. I have GSO grade 2 and Geotech grade 1, which you can't get that above 1 right now. The GeoCorp rather, they don't go above 1 until they add those quests to the game. So, thanks for watching, and we'll do this again later. Thank you.